right, so you've been exploring data careers, huh? Smart move. We're going to take a deep dive into these articles. You've got data analysts versus business analysts, Coursera, SciTechGen, all that good stuff. We're going to break it down, help you figure out which one's your jam.
Yeah, it's interesting how often those get lumped together, But they're pretty different in how they tackle problems, wouldn't you say?
For sure. It's more than just liking spreadsheets, right? It's about making a real impact with data. But before we get ahead of ourselves, what do these analysts actually do all day?
Let's start with the basics.
Okay, picture this. You're a data analyst, up to your elbows in sales numbers, maybe figuring out what's selling like hotcakes during the holidays.
Getting warmer. It's all about finding the story in the data. They clean up messy data, run the numbers, then make it make sense, even for people who hate spreadsheets.
Right, our data whisperer. Okay, now picture a business analyst. They're watching a company's customer service, like mapping the whole experience, finding the frustrating parts, then figuring out how to make it way smoother.
That's a perfect example. They connect the dots between the data and the actual decisions that improve a business. Data's part of it, sure, but they're also thinking about workflow, tech, even the office vibe, finding practical solutions.
So one's deep in the data trenches, the other's got that big picture strategy, but both use data to help a business thrive. Sounds like our sources agree, data analysts are the data, while business analysts use it as one tool among many to, fix what's broken and make things better.
Exactly, and that is key when you're trying to figure out which one suits you better.
It really is. And speaking of suiting you, I was looking at this one source. It breaks down the ideal background for each role. Interesting. Some overlap, but definitely leans towards STEM for data analysts. Math, stats, computer science, speaking the language of data.
Which makes sense. They're pulling insights out of raw data, often working with some pretty complex models and algorithms.
Exactly. And for business analysts, they're looking for a business degree or real-world experience. But here's where it gets interesting. Both profiles say you've got to be a good communicator and problem solver.
It's like they're saying, sure, be a numbers whiz, but if you can't explain it or work with a team, good luck making an impact.
So no more lone wolf in a dark room, lost in spreadsheet stereotype.
Not at all. Collaboration, communication, thinking critically, that's both roles, according to all these sources. Problem solvers at heart, just coming at it from different angles.
Which leads to the big question for everyone listening. Do numbers make your heart sing? Or do you get fired up by optimizing processes, finding those elegant solutions to real-world problems?
So those are two different flavors of problem solving, right?
Totally. And speaking of different flavors, let's talk tools of the trade. This is where it gets fun for me. It's like peeking into their workshops. What are they actually using every day?
Like comparing a carpenter's kit to a chef's, Both work with raw materials, but totally different tools, totally different end product.
Right. And this source, it's like a whole equipment list. Data analysts. Python great for cleaning data and machine learning. R big for statistics and visuals. And STSS used a lot in social sciences research. We're talking serious data wrangling here.
Yeah, their focus is quantitative analysis, finding trends in huge data sets. Those tools help them cut through the noise and find the good stuff.
Right. Then we switch over to the business analyst's kit. Process mapping software to visualize workflows, requirements gathering tools to understand what users need, and project management tools to keep everything on track.
It's all about understanding systems, the how and why of how businesses work, looking at the qualitative side, the human element.
So data analyst is a detective using evidence. Business analyst is like the architect, redesigning a building to work better.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
The tools themselves really highlight those day-to-day differences.
Different tools, different styles, both vital. But let's be real, how does this all translate to dollar signs?
The age-old question, what's the payoff for all this data wizardry?
Right. Good thing we've got Glassdoor data. As of March 2024, business analysts are averaging a bit higher, around $83,251.
But before anyone jumps ship and chases the bigger paycheck,
There's always a but.
salaries depend on so many things: location, experience, company size, what industry you're in. The point isn't the paycheck, it's that both are in demand. You're on the right track either way.
Music to a job seeker's ears. But how do you actually choose? Big decision.
It is. We've laid out the differences, but it's not one size fits all. It comes down to what gets you excited.
Right. What are you passionate about? Is it writing Python code, unlocking secrets in data sets? Or is it mapping out a company's workflow, making it sing?
Exactly. And it's okay if it's not crystal clear right now. There's overlap, and you can always switch things up later.
So important. It's not like picking your Hogwarts house. You can change paths.
Exactly. Don't get stuck on finding the perfect answer. Find the work that speaks to you, the problems you want to solve every day. It's not just about which tools, but what they say about the problems you're solving.
Ooh, I like that. Like, show me your tools. I'll tell you what kind of analyst you are.
Right. Imagine you're trying to figure out why online sales have flatlined for a company. Data analyst. They might boot up Python, go through all the website data, maybe build a model to predict which customers are about to jump ship based on, what they're doing on the site.
So using those detective skills, finding clues in the numbers.
Exactly. But the business analyst, they might use that process mapping software, visualize the whole customer journey from browsing to clicking buy. Maybe they find out the checkout process is so confusing, people are giving up.
Ah, so they're making the system better so people actually finish buying stuff?
Exactly. Both use data, but different angles. Analyst finds the aha in the numbers. Business analyst uses that to actually make things better.
Great way to put it. Working together, each using their strengths to tackle the problem.
And this is where those essential skills come in. Remember, communication is key. Data analyst needs to explain those predictions to the marketing team so they can target their campaigns.
And the business analyst has to get those checkout improvements across to the web developers, right? Make sure it all gets implemented smoothly.
Exactly. Both are all about collaboration, problem solving, bridging that gap between data and action.
So not just a data whiz, but a storyteller, a translator, a diplomat.
You got it. And when you're deciding between these careers, think about the kind of impact you want to make.
Good point. Like a data analyst might love uncovering those hidden trends, being the first to see a change in what customers are doing.
Absolutely. While a business analyst, they might get a kick out of streamlining something that's clunky and seeing the results. Happier customers, more sales.
Both super important, helping a company succeed, just in different ways.
For sure. Speaking of which, I think you were curious about the money side things.
You know me too well. Let's be real, it matters, right? Luckily, Glassdoor's got our back. March 2024 data shows business analysts are making a tad more, on average about $83,251.
But hold your horses before you jump to business analyst, just for a possible bigger paycheck.
Right, there's always a catch.
Salaries, it's all over the place. Location, how much experience you've got, the company, what industry. And don't forget, enjoying your job, having room to grow, that's important too, right?
100%. A slightly higher average shouldn't be the only thing you think about.
Exactly. Find something you're passionate about where you can use your skills and reach your goals. That's key.
Couldn't agree more. This chat has made it clear picking a career isn't just about a title or how much you make.
It's way more than that. The cool thing is, both these fields, data analysis and business analysis, have amazing potential. You can learn, grow, make a real impact.
And what's great, it's not a one-way street. You can move around, explore within those fields, find what fits you.
For sure, analysts become business analysts and vice versa. What you learn in one helps you in the other.
So don't stress about finding the perfect path right away. Figure out what you're good at, what you like, what you want in the long run.
Exactly. What problems get you going? What kind of workplace do you thrive in? What kind of mark do you want to make?
It's like we've given you a map, right? But instead of showing you streets, it shows you how your skills and passions can lead to a career.
And remember, those can change. You might start as a data analyst loving the numbers, then realize you're all about making businesses run better. Boom, business analyst.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a one-time decision. Twists, turns, who knows what you'll discover.
Maybe you become a hybrid, data-savvy business strategist.
Ooh, now there's an idea. The unicorn of the business world. So when you're looking at job ads, don't get hung up on checking every box. Look for those core skills. Can you solve problems? Do you want to make a difference?
It all comes back to what we were talking about. Communication, thinking critically, working with a team. Those are your foundations. Doesn't matter which path you choose.
And you can keep building those skills throughout your career, right?
Absolutely. Always be learning, say yes to challenges, and never lose that curiosity that got you here listening to us today.
Couldn't agree more. So, if you remember only one thing from this data analyst versus business analyst deep dive, it's this. Both are amazing. You can grow, you can learn, you can make a real impact.
The best path is your path. The one that fits your skills, your passions, where you see yourself in the long run.
Perfectly said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of data. Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.